Aloha, you guys. It's June 16th of 2024, and it's Father's Day. What a wonderful day to go ahead and do some work in the garden. And today we're going to set up the 3-bin composting system using pallets. I did this before and used pallets with chicken wire. The problem is that we have a large banyan tree overhead, and the roots just simply came up through the floor and through the sides of the bin system and pretty much ate all the compost. Made it very difficult to harvest what it hadn't depleted the nutrition from, and overall was kind of a pain in the neck. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. So the first thing that we got to do is to prepare the area that we're going to be doing the compost system in. And here you can see me trimming up all the hibiscus bushes, which have been having a wonderful time enjoying all the compost that's been created just by the leaves falling on the ground and me not doing any maintenance and raking them up over the last year. So we've accumulated actually about 8 inches of loose soil here. And as you can see, the bushes have been real happy about it. And the next step is to rake up some of the leaves and other debris and level the ground out just a little bit. Again, just preparing where we're going to be putting these bins. And now the next step is to go ahead and rake up some of the leaves and try and level the area out a little bit. Over the last year and a half, I have not done any maintenance in the side yard as I've been busy with other things. And it has composted slowly and created about 8 inches of soil across the yard here. I would assume it's not very nutrient dense as the tree roots and these hibiscus bushes have been enjoying it quite a bit already. But let's go ahead and get this area leveled out and ready to put the new pallet bin composting system in. So with this version of the pallet compost bins, I'm going to use some weed blocking fabric for the base and also to line the pallets in an attempt to keep the tree roots out. We'll see how it goes, if it works at all, and how long it lasts if it does. I'm using some tent stakes to stake down the corners and the middle of the fabric here just to keep it from blowing around and provide some stability when I'm working with the compost in the future. I got these pallets free from the back of a grocery store in town. They have a large pile and were absolutely okay with me taking as many as I want. In this case, I'm using the plain pallets. These do not have any kind of poisonous wood treatment to them, so these are the right kinds that you want to use for a project like this. To hold it all together, I'm just using some deck screws. Now that the back wall is secured, it's time to bring in some more pallets to create the dividers. And like before, I'm just using some deck screws to hold it all together. Very simple materials. Now it's time to use the weed fabric to go ahead and cover these bins. The goal here is to keep the compost materials from leaking out of the bins, keep the tree roots out while still allowing some airflow to come through and keep the materials from rotting. Keeping everything simple, I'm just rough cutting the materials to length and then using a hammer tacker to go ahead and staple it all together. So the only tools that I'm using at this point would be some scissors and the hammer tacker, which is just a staple gun in the shape of a hammer. Now it's time to fill up our first bin, and I'm using a combination of leaves from the tree and grass from the area. I run it all through the lawnmower to break it all down into smaller pieces, make it uniform size. This helps it to compost quicker. As I build the layers, I'm using the hose to water it down. You want it to be moist like a sponge, as this encourages all of the bacteria to continue to break down the material as quickly as possible. The goal here is that you want your piles to be big enough, otherwise it will not compost properly. These are about 3 foot tall, and that's when we hit critical mass. And here's the first bin piled up. This actually has a remarkable amount of material in there. It's about 3 feet high. This is when you begin to hit critical mass and get proper composting. I've gone ahead and put a compost thermometer in, so stay tuned for the next episode to see how hot it gets.